Harbaugh to the Chargers was inevitable. I think it's fantastic long-term for Herbert. It's fantastic long-term for the Chargers. The one position that will have a very, very solid fantasy football, I think, effect will be the running back. So do they bring in Corum, which you hear a lot of that chatter. Like everyone wants to predict that. This guy is about his boys. Corum is going to be a second rounder. Harbaugh's going to need a running back. They have a vacancy there because Eckler will be gone. Barkley would be amazing. And Barkley feels like a Harbaugh guy. Like if Barkley lands in LA is going to have a run game like we haven't seen in a while between the tackles, Melvin Gordon days. And boy, where do we draft Barkley in a Jim Harbaugh Chargers offense?
The one problem with the Chargers this year is they're in cap hell until 2025. I know they can move stuff around.
Yeah,
but
cap's
I think
fake,
they're like
man.
negative 45 in cap space, 45 million.
Yeah, cap's fake, man. Running back's so cheap. I mean, that's our natural instinct to be like, oh yeah, no one can get a mega deal. Running backs, signing a running back saves you money. It's like the running backs.
Well, that's true.
They pay you.
They can push it off to backload the contract because in 2025 they have good cap space. So.
Hi, this is Saquon Barkley. I'll pay you $8 million a year to come play for you.
How much power did they even say? How much power is Harbaugh going to have over the draft and the players?
Probably full control, I imagine. If Harbaugh, you're pulling a guy out from college like that, he's getting whatever he wants. Imagine if they use this pick on Bowers or Marvin Harrison Jr. and then they draft Blake Corum, or they bring in Barkley, even in cap hell, whatever. They bring in Barkley on a very reasonable deal for RBs. This team is like this is the best. This is why they were the best landing spot, is because there's a lot of solutions right sitting in front of your face at your fingertips.
What if he brings in a Higgins?
Yeah, well, I mean, a wide receiver. I mean, you got Ridley, you got Higgins, you got Michael Pittman, you got Evans. I could see him bringing in Mike Evans.
Would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a good land. But I mean, I don't think I would not use this pick on an offensive lineman. I would address that in other parts of the draft or free agency. I would use this on a generational talent that you cannot replace or replicate in the second round. You can replace and replicate offensive linemen in the second round. You can. In my opinion, you 100% can, because I think you can develop and coach that up. You'll never find another Marvin Harrison Jr. or a Brock Bowers, in my opinion. That is the move to make without a hesitation right here. If they do that and go to the running back free agent pool and figure out how to fill this by way of Barkley or Jacobs, or draft Blake Corum in the second round, it's on, man. It's on. Buckeye says no line. I don't know if you listen to a lot of my content, Buckeye, but sometimes offensive line production is very unfairly judged, and a lot of determinations are made based on a struggling offense, similar to the New York Jets. Everybody says the New York Jets have offensive line problems. They don't have as many offensive line problems as you might think. A lot of it comes down to quarterback play and predictability and defensive scheming, because no one is scared of your quarterback. Your quarterback doesn't have a quick release. Watch what Aaron Rodgers does to the New York Jet offensive line production once he steps back under center. If he stays healthy, I'm not saying he's at no risk of getting re-injured. Of course he is. But his quick release makes that defense back up. His quick release spreads out the defense, spreads out the offense, makes it more efficient. His quick release makes it harder to get to him. And the same thing's going to be said here. Like, you can coach up an offensive line without even doing much to it. If you have the right personnel in place, you can turn most any offensive line into a very well playing offensive line. It goes is very understated how important personnel is in developing an offensive line versus the talent. Look at the 49ers. And I went on Raj's, IG constantly and said, I'm not worried about the offensive line in San Francisco. It was a big problem. It was a big sticking point. Even with our boy Vlad, he talked about the offensive line collapsing, and they got how they're going to protect. But it's like, there's a history of the way Shanahan builds his team up defensive backs, offensive line. He coaches it up. He doesn't even. You'll sit here and go, "Who's stepping up? Next man up." And this is going to be a disaster. And you never hear anything about the Niners offensive line folding. This is a good unit. Jim Harbaugh, I have no concerns about the offensive line. Will they address it? Sure. Will they bring someone in? Absolutely. Will they draft a couple offensive linemen? Absolutely. Will they attack that in the draft and try and get the right people in place? But 1,000%, I have zero concern about the offensive line. At this point, it's completely fixed in my mind because I know what he's going to do with it. I know how he's going to set it up. I know how he's going to coach it up. I know he's going to put, like Ron said, personnel in place to take care of that. He knows what he's doing. It's more of a personnel thing than it is a talent thing when it comes to certain pieces of an offense. I'm just telling you right now. And everybody that says you got to draft, Sewell. And everyone could say, Burrow did get hurt, Smitty. Maybe they should have drafted Sewell. As I told Hugh Jackson when he came on my show and ridiculed my take about how Jamar Chase is better for protecting Joe Burrow even than drafting an offensive lineman, I stand by that 100,000%. Jamar Chase stretches the field. Jamar Chase makes this defense line up differently every time he's on the field. And my whole point is that if Jim Harbaugh puts this offense in a certain positioning and he gets the most out of Herbert, he brings in a Barkley, you don't have any concerns about offensive line. It's a good point, Buckeye, and I know it's... Bob says we need to show the Chargers some more hype. What do you think I've been doing for 48 straight minutes, Bob? I appreciate the super chat, though. But, I feel like I've been bringing the hype pretty strong. How about a little...
He's Kyron. He can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Breece. He's Breece.
He does a hell of a job. A hell of a job. A hell of a job.
Breece Hall, please report to the moon.
Legend has it if you say St. Brown 3 times in the dark in the bathroom, you will immediately lose your league.
Hit that thumb up button on the way out the door.